a story that made her realize the amazing impact of being a Toastmaster. Please welcome Raquel Altreche.
Toastmasters, the gift that keeps on giving. Fellow Toastmasters, I want to share with you tonight a story that really brought that home for me. So the story started with my friend Don, who invited me to go to another Toastmasters Club's meeting. He gave me all the information, and I really had to think about it after I heard it. Wasn't sure I wanted to do it, but I said, you know what, let's have that experience. So the morning of the meeting, we all decided to go, and he had invited 2 other Toastmasters. It was Dan and I think Eugene, and we all went. We had quite a bit of a way to drive, but when we got there, there was this huge facility. It was big. We walked in the door, we went to the registration table, and we signed up. And then we waited because we had to go through this security kind of thing going on. So we did. And at the end of it, there was this really nice lady called Judy. And Judy was there to welcome us. And I'm telling you, she just made us feel like we were the president. I mean, she was so excited that we had come, that we were there. And so it was infectious. She gave us the lay of the land. She told us the protocol. And then she took us into this room. Now, the room she took us into was sort of like rectangular. So you walked in, and it was like this room long. And, you know, the tables just like these, but those gray tables, the plastic ones, so there were like three on this side and 2 on the back. And they had chairs on each side. And I found myself thinking, wow, there's a lot of Toastmasters coming to this club. And so I looked around and I said, no pictures on the wall. Okay. But in the corner was their banner. And their banner, the name of their club was Carpe Diem. And so seize the day, for those of us that don't, seize the day. And I said, ooh. And then, of course, the podium, you know that's important. And then after that, I noticed that there was coffee and Danishes on the side. Boy, that brightened me up. Ready for this meeting. So we all sat down, we sat in our own spaces, and we waited because we were the first ones there. And as we were waiting, we talked and whatnot, and all of a sudden, they started coming in. And the Toastmasters. It transformed the room. The room went from this plain to this vibrant room. I mean, they were talking, and evaluators were finding speakers, and grammarians were talking about what they were going to do. And oh my gosh, you know, it's like, yeah, let's do this. I had agreed to evaluate. So I found my speech giver, Adam, and we went through what he wanted me to notice for him. And so the meeting started just like ours do, and the gavel went down, and we were off. As we started the meeting, and he again was like, whoa, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. And so as we went and we started, they did the regular roles of the, you know, everyone told about the roles. And so they started with the speeches. Now, Adam was the first speaker, so I had to like really pay attention. And Adam's speech was bittersweet. He was this young man, and his speech was about his childhood. And he talked a little bit about how he was the son of teenage parents who lived on their own. And he said that his house was the party house, that forever there were people coming in and out. He talked a little bit how in grammar school, he thought that he was clumsy. He didn't realize until he got older that it was just all the weed that was smoked in his house, that he always was high, and he didn't realize it. He talked about how he lived in a wide trailer home, and how people were forever coming in and out, and how he pretty much raised himself. He was so funny, but it was kind of painful. And he gave us permission at the beginning of the speech to have the pain. So then we did the table topics, and I normally just looked down, so I ain't called on. But they called my name, and so I stood up. And when I stood up and I looked at the audience, for a moment I froze. There were what I later found out to be 32 men. I was the only woman beside Judy. And these were 32 convicted felons. They all looked and dressed alike. But for a split moment, we were all Toastmasters. There were no guards in the room. This is a minimum security facility. but they run a Toastmasters club that's just amazing. I realized the gift of Toastmasters because for an hour and a half every week, they get to forget about their circumstances and step into this amazing role where they can be creative, they can be whatever they want, they can give their speech, they can laugh, they can do whatever it is. And I was just in awe. You know? I must say that I did do table topics and I did do the evaluation. And of doing those two, I did get the best evaluator and the best table topics. But I think that's because I was the only woman. Whatever it was, I can only tell you that we are so blessed to have this thing called Toastmasters, where we get up and we're able to come to a place where people want to hear us, where people give us critiques and make us better, where we take chances and do risks, because as we all know, that's what makes the blood go and that's what keeps us young and healthy. Toastmasters is a gift. It keeps giving over and over and over. And watching these men transform from their daily lives into Toastmasters, sweet, very, very sweet.